to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today we have another episode from Athens, Greece. Today is our last day here in Greece, so we're gonna make the most of it, eat a ton of Greek food. We're gonna be specifically eating some Cretan food, which is from the largest island here in Greece, known as Crete. We're also gonna visit the National Archaeological Museum. But first, this morning, we're gonna head to a really cool Mezedes restaurant, have a couple small plates. It's gonna be a great episode, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. Let's go. This place is called Karamanlidika. It's this really old school, cool Mezedes restaurant. So they serve all kinds of different small plates, and they have kind of a deli in the center of the restaurant, and you can sit around it. We're just sitting by these open windows. There's a nice breeze coming in, and we're gonna get some breakfast today, but they also serve you a free appetizer. It looks like it might be smoked beef. Let's try it out. It's crusted with some spices, a little bit of black pepper. So we order up a spread, we'll wait for it to arrive, and then we'll show you what we got.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a minute to let you know that we are relaunching our Chopstick Travel merchandise. So many of you really loved our Taiwan street food design, and we are going to be making that available to you again. We also have 2 new designs. We have t-shirts, hoodies, all kinds of different colors, and in every size. Our members and Patreons are getting a special 15% discount. So if you want that discount on the merch, you can go over and become a member on our YouTube channel or our Patreon, which the links are down in the description box. And if you guys want to get yourself some Chopstick Travel merch, our link is also going to be down in the description box. It's from Bonfire. Go check that out and get yourself some Chopstick Travel merch.
We've got a beautiful spread for breakfast today, starting with the dolma. These are these pickled grape leaves stuffed with rice, served with a little bit of yogurt, and then just drizzled with olive oil. Back here, we've got the beautifully presented smoked mackerel, a little bit of greens, some tomatoes, lemon, cucumber. And then back over here, we've got aubergines with zucchini served in a spicy Cappadocian sauce, and then you can see there's tons of feta on top there, and that looks so good. This is such a beautiful spread, and everything's presented so nicely. Let's dig in. Okay, I'm gonna start with the dolmas, but I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on there, and these might be stuffed with more than just rice, sometimes meat, but we'll find out. Look at that, that is beautiful. Let's try it out. So good. I can taste a very strong dill flavor in there. I think it is just rice with some spices inside, sourness from the lemon, creaminess from that yogurt, and then you get a little bit of sourness once again from the pickled grape leaves. Those are good.
Next up, we have the zucchini with the eggplant and this spicy Cappadocian sauce. This looks amazing. Give it a try. Some feta in there as well. Oh, it's gonna be a big bite. Oh my gosh. That is like grandma's stew. Everything kind of blends together in that spicy Cappadocian sauce, and the textures of those zucchini and the eggplant are very soft. And then the feta on top gives it a little bit of a savoriness. That's awesome.
So this one I'm really interested in trying. This is the smoked mackerel. I'll kind of rub that lemon on top there and grab a piece of tomato and try this out. Look at that. That looks beautiful. I love smoked fish. It's definitely salted and smoked because it's got a strong saltiness, but the smokiness has just infused inside the mackerel. So you get this kind of firm outer layer, and then it's still soft on the inside. That tastes just like the mackerel we smoked back in Canada. I love it. We really picked a good spread. I love every dish. That smoked mackerel is so good. Those dolmas are so juicy. And then this Cappadocian sauce with the eggplant and the zucchini is just so melt in your mouth. It almost tastes like a ragu, but with a little bit more sustenance because of that zucchini in there. We also have dessert coming soon. So we've actually got 2 desserts. This one was on the house. This is yogurt with sugared carrot on top. And then we ordered the baklava with, it looks like walnuts on top. There may be some pistachios. And just check out all the layers. Can you see that? There's so many layers there. And let's see if we can hear this crunch. Oh yeah, you can hear the crunch. Oh man, it's dense. Let me try to cut through all those layers of phyllo dough. That's gonna be way too big of a bite. I gotta cut that in half again. Listen to that. That is beauty. Oh no. I'm destroying it. Oh no. I'll try to salvage what I can. It's covered in syrup. And this is one of my all-time favorite desserts. Yum. Oh, I love it. So even though it sounds like it's really crunchy, because there's so much syrup when you bite into it, it's got this really unique texture where it's got this resistance to it when you bite down on it, because it kind of concentrates and gets really hard. There's a lot of cinnamon in there too, which I love. Let's try a better bite. Man, it's not too sweet either. That's awesome.
And for the other dessert, we got this yogurt with sugared carrot, and it looks like there's a bunch of syrup just surrounding the entire thing. It's going for a nice big bite. That is ultra sweet. Those carrots that are sweetened in the middle are almost like a paste. They're super chewy. And then that yogurt gives it a little bit of sourness, but it's also still quite sweet. This really reminds me of some Indian desserts we had, especially in Delhi and Amritsar in the wintertime. It's really delicious.
I've constructed the perfect bite of baklava, and what do you guys think? Is this a sin to do this? I'm gonna take some of the yogurt, put it on top like this. I think it's better off by its own. Those were some great Mezedes. I love sitting right in the window, and the shop is just so cool. And it definitely has a little bit of a Turkish influence. They had a lot of Turkish names on their menu. Right now we are heading to the National Archaeological Museum. The National Archaeological Museum of Athens is definitely a must-see on your trip to Greece. This place has been around since 1829. It houses some seriously old antiquities of Greece. We're gonna go inside. It's all COVID-19 measures inside, so mask up, social distancing. Let's go.
So unfortunately, we weren't allowed to record audio inside. We had to leave our mic at the door, but we did record a lot of clips so that you guys could see some of the key art pieces. It was a really amazing walk through the Archaeological Museum. We saw tons of art pieces from late antiquity, 16th century BC, all the way to the golden age of Greece. You could see the progression in the sophistication of the art, and it's just a wonderful way to go and spend your afternoon here in Athens, especially when it's really hot. So definitely check it out when you're here.
I would say the vast majority of the sculptures and artifacts inside are statues of marble of different gods, people, but there is a lot of other different things too. And then you get into some bronze sculptures, and then there's even some gold and pottery.
Yep.
What do you think your favorite piece was?
I think the little jockey on the horse was my favorite.
Yeah, that was super cool.
It was like a centerpiece for one of the biggest rooms, and it just really stuck out to me. It was huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
And it's so detailed.
Yeah, but everything in there was really cool.
Yeah, you guys gotta come check this out. It's awesome, especially if you just had a big meal like us,
Yeah.
and then you want to digest. So we're gonna head to get some Cretan food now. So Crete is the largest of the Greek islands. Unfortunately on this trip we didn't have a chance to visit it, but luckily for us, Athens has been gaining popularity with Cretan food. So we've come to this place called I Kriti, and they have been around before the craze, and they serve authentic Cretan style food. We've got a huge menu here, so we're gonna order up a bunch of different things, all the Cretan classics, and besides being delicious food, it's known as some of the healthiest food in the entire world, so I'm really excited to try it out. We ordered their house white wine, Cretan wine, and it's really tasty. It's a little bit fruity, a little bit dry, and a little bit sweet. It's just very balanced. I love that. Our first dish is the dakos, which is a traditional Cretan salad. So underneath here we have this really hard rusk, which is twice cooked bread. We've got some Cretan cheese on the top, which they really loaded on. And we've got parsley, and I'm not really sure exactly what this is. If you know, let me know down in the comment box. We got some pureed tomato, lots of olive oil, some olives, and I think I want to cut this, but it's really hard bread. Oh, it's already actually cut for me. So I'm gonna grab some of this, make sure I get some of that cheese, and try it out. That literally just soared to the top of my favorite salads list. The cheese is just so creamy, but that rusk is almost rock solid. It takes a lot to chew through it, but it's got a nice complementing texture with the soft cheese and then that creamy tomato sauce, and then just the spices and the herbs in there are so good as well. But it's really about that cheese. That is so good, and look at how much cheese they put on top. Yum. It definitely takes a lot to get through that rusk, but that's what makes the salad so unique, the contrast of textures. It's really hard, but it complements everything else so well. The rest of our dishes have arrived. This one's called berberista, and it's a fried snails with rosemary and tons of olive oil, classic Cretan dish. Then we've got the smoked pork, and it looks really, really juicy and good. And then back here we've got peppers that have been stuffed with spicy feta. But I gotta start with one of these snails. See if I can fish this out. There's a ton of olive oil inside. There we go, look at that. Okay, let's try one of these out. Oh wow. There's a lot of rosemary infused into that olive oil. Very salty, and there's definitely a couple other herbs in there as well. Oh man, that's a big snail. Really juicy and good. So this is the smoked pork. It's called apaki, and this is a classic Cretan dish as well, and there's a little bit of a sauce. It was deglazed in wine. It's like a super intense smoked ham, really smoky flavor. And then you can taste a little bit of the tartness coming from the wine. Oh man, it's tender. It's not like some smoked meats that get really dried out. It's still juicy and tender. These are the peppers that have been stuffed. Look at that, wow. Stuffed with feta cheese and a little bit of chili, I think. Spicy feta, let me cut that. That's the type of spice that hits your tongue immediately, but it doesn't hang around too long. The pepper is really nice and soft. It almost reminds me of an eggplant. And then that feta gives it a nice flavor too. Man, this is so good. Everything's so healthy too. Just look at this beautiful spread. These snails are particularly awesome too. See if I can fish one out. Just look at the amount of olive oil that's inside. And they're big guys too. This is a typical Cretan dish that I was really looking forward to trying. Oh, they are a little bit of a challenge, but once you get them, look at the size of that thing. Oh man.
Local tip, definitely take the bread that's given to you on the table and dip it in this snail sauce. I'm gonna tell you, it changes your life. It's so good. Oh yeah, that is good. So it's really traditional at the end of your meal here in Greece that you get watermelon, and watermelon is such a great dessert. Really sweet watermelon, served nice and cold. Really great way to end your meal.
That was such a good meal, and it's one of those meals that you don't feel heavy after because all of the food was so healthy. You definitely need to try Cretan food if you're not going to Crete or just stopping in Athens. Check that place out, I Kriti. And we don't have anything else planned for the day, so we're gonna go home, hang out, do a little bit of work, and wait for dinner tonight, and then we'll catch back up with you then. This spot is called The Traditional, and like most places here in Athens, we're dining al fresco, and they have a lot of classic things on their menu, and we ordered up one that you have to try anytime you come to Greece, and that is the Greek salad. Very typical, and I just can't get over that chunk of feta cheese on top. It's gotta be an inch, maybe an inch and a half thick, and it's just covered in oregano. We've got onions, peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers, and some olives, and then it's all drizzled with tons of olive oil. We have the tzatziki, the strained yogurt with cucumbers, olive in the middle, and then we've got this here, which is called Kontosouvli, which is a pork that's been roasted on a spit, turning, and it's been spiced with some French fries here, a little bit of oregano on top, and this goes perfectly with that tzatziki. You really gotta try a big plate of meat with a Greek salad whenever you come to Greece. It's so typical. So let's dig in. Let's start with a Greek salad. Gotta cut a piece of this feta off. That is seriously so thick. And then I'll go in for tomato, and it's starting to crumble. Yeah, just as I expected. I'll get a smaller piece of the feta with, oh, that's still a big piece of feta, with some tomato. Try that. They complement each other so well because that tomato is so juicy, whereas the feta is almost a little bit dry, and then you get a sweetness from the tomato, and it's a mild cheese, but it's still got a hint of kind of cheesy funkiness coming from that feta, and then strong oregano as well. I'm telling you, this piece of feta has to weigh like, I don't know, 500 grams. Let's try some more of the vegetables here. They're all just covered in olive oil, tons of onions. Yeah. Very fresh. Next up, the Kontosouvli. We've got some pieces with skin on, and that's always the best because you get all that spice that's been rubbed in, and then this tzatziki works as a perfect little dipping sauce with a little bit of olive oil and freshness from those cucumbers. Oh man, that pork is super, super smoky and a little bit salty, so it helps to even it out with the tzatziki, which gives it freshness and a little bit of sweetness actually. And you gotta chase those with some of the French fries. They really pile up the French fries here, and they're not really crispy, they feel soggy. Yeah, filling meal, but very typical Greek. This Greek salad is crazy, but I gotta give it up for this Kontosouvli. It's kind of like a pulled pork, and it goes so well with the tzatziki. Anytime you come to Greece, you gotta order one of these big plates of meat. That's what it's all about here. And then you can just even dip some of these French fries in the tzatziki too. It all just works so well together. We are back at our apartment on the balcony, and we are ending our Athens, Greece series. That was 6 episodes of a ton of food, ton of walking, ton of sights, beautiful city of Athens. It was just a lovely experience. And if you would like to visit the places we visited in this Athens series, you can hit the link down in the description box for our Patreon. And on our Patreon, we provide you with a curated food map of all kinds of places across the world, including all the restaurants we ate in our Athens series. And also you can get access to our monthly blooper reels. What was the best thing we ate today, Serena?
Almost everything at the Cretan restaurant just blew my mind. It was so amazing. The ingredients tasted so fresh and local. I just really loved the whole experience sitting outside as well. What about you?
Oh, it's really hard. I love the dakos salad at the Cretan restaurant, but also I really like the aubergine with zucchini at the Mezedes restaurant.
That was good. All I know is that I'm super full from eating everything today.
What was the best thing we ate in Athens?
In the whole series? Oh, that's such a tough question. I think it would have to be the little seafood taverna that we had in the Central Market in one of the earlier videos where we had the octopus leg and those mussels. That was absolutely incredible, very memorable.
I don't know if I can give up for one dish, but if there's one restaurant, it was probably Di Porto.
Oh yeah.
The underground secret restaurant.
Yeah, that was great.
And all the home cooked dishes there were so good.
Yeah.
But also that salad that we had, that grilled salad at Telus Steakhouse.
So good.
Yeah.
The whole trip was very memorable.
Yeah, Athens has been an incredible experience. And if you guys aren't already, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified. We've got a lot more videos coming from around the world. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye.
Bye.